CM 365, all about Carnatic music.
Karpuram narmo kamalapu narmo Karpuram narmo kamalapu narmo திருப்பவள செவ்வாய்த்தான் தித்தே திருக்குமோ மறுபொசித்த மாதவன் தன் வாய்ச்சுவையும் நாச்சமும் விருப்புற்று கேட்கின்றேன் சொல்லாழி பெண் சங்கே கற்பூரம் நாருமோ கமலப்பூ நாருமோ. Well, today we'll be dealing with another facet of this aspect of Kamala, in the sense that here, before I was talking about Kamala in the context of the Lord's face, the Lord's eyes, the Lord's feet. But it was really very amazing for me to come across this passage where the lotus is attributed with a significant or a unique fragrance, and that is what here in this passage Andal is talking about this in her Tirumozhi. Now, in fact, for me, probably for the scholars and the Harikatha exponents, this must have been dealt with in full length by them in terms of the meaning, its inner connotation and all. For me, a flower with fragrance immediately reminds me of a rose or a lily and so on. But the lotus is having a very distinct fragrance, and Andal bringing this to our notice was something really fascinating, and I thought I'll share it with you here. Here, Karpuram Narumo, Kamalappu Narumo. The natram here actually refers to the smell or the fragrance. In fact, even we could say that how the certain words change their meaning from time to time, in the sense that commonly today, from what I understand when I say natram, we refer to the negative aspect of a bad smell, and we say when it is vasane, we say that it is fragrance. But in this context, we understand that when Andal uses the word natram, it actually refers to the beautiful smell or the fragrance of the lotus flower. Here, what is the context in which the Kamalappu Narumo has been mentioned is also very interesting, so I thought I'll share that with you here. Here, really, when you see all these works and you try to understand what is the inner meaning, you feel so humbled actually to see what is the vast kind of an imagination all these poets, our saints had, and how they communicated it so beautifully through poetic verses is something we really, it takes a lifetime even to understand what they're trying to say, but let us make a simple attempt today here. In this particular verse, Andal is referring to the Panchajanyam, that is the conch which adorns Lord Krishna's lips. And the Panchajanyam, we all know, because of the fact that it adorns the Lord's lips, it knows all of Krishna's wants, the smell he likes, the taste he prefers, and so on. And here, Andal actually asks this Panchajanyam, what is the kind of fragrance that emanates or comes from Sri Krishna's mouth? Is it like the smell of the camphor, or is it like the fragrance of the lotus flower? And here, obviously, the comparison of the fragrance one to camphor denotes a strong kind of a smell, a very powerful kind of a smell. And when she talks about the fragrance of the lotus flower is supposed to have a very kind of a cool, pleasant, and sweet smell. So kind of a contrasting kind of smells are connoted here, and Andal is trying to ask the Panchajanyam whether it is as strong as the camphor smell or as cool, sweet, and beautiful as the fragrance of the lotus flower. And here we also have to again draw our attention to the fact that many poets have depicted the beauty of the lotus or the Kamala in several ways, but this verse indicates the unique fragrance of the lotus flower. And obviously, Andal creates this special fragrance for us to understand. And she understands it, and she's also trying to bring to our notice that she wants to know whether the lips and the mouth of Krishna, actually, the fragrance is that like that of the Kamala poo or the lotus. And we all know that all the flowers, vegetables, they have their own distinct kind of, like human beings, they have their own gunas. And this particular fragrance that she is trying to draw our attention to also brings to the fact that this particular guna of the flower is brought to our notice. Like this, I suppose we could keep going on and on. And one more thing which is in my mind is the Kamalamba Navavarna, where the word Kamalamba actually takes a huge kind of a connotation in the throughout the whole set of 11 compositions that are there. So that will probably we'll deal with in some time later. We'll do that in a very exhaustive manner because that requires a lot of elaborate treatment. But nevertheless, through these small episodes that I have been doing, I thought probably taking out few drops from the ocean, we were able to look into a few compositions where this word Kamala has been very beautifully incorporated with so much of profound meaning.
CM 365, all about Carnatic music.